right, so we're back with some changes for the truck. Give you a peek at what I was working with and then where we're going. When I bought this truck, there was a lot of really good work done to it, but the suspension is lacking a lot. And you'll see, I'll show you the shocks that I actually took off the truck. I got some shocks to replace it and then some other things that we got going on. All right, so here's what I'm working with here as far as the rear is concerned. I already got the other shock off, but this is just a QA1 single adjustable shock. And not really very good for any sort of, racing. It's just a fifth. Additionally, I've got a set of pinion angle shims that are gonna go here. And then I also got a 1/2 inch spacer. I'm gonna try and move this down a little bit to help kind of my bar angle. The bar is pretty much parallel. I'm trying to get like a little bit of an uphill sweep. All right, so here's the shock that came off the truck. It is a, what is that? TS513. It's just a single adjustable 50/50 shock. So not really ideal for, any sort of racing, I don't think. I mean, especially if you're gonna put, all this like chassis work and stuff into the truck. And then what we're gonna move to is an Afco eliminator, double adjustable. The rebound is actually adjusted up here, compression down here. I don't need to run a coilover spring. It's just the shock itself because I have a leaf spring. So this should be much better for us than the QA ones. Along with that, we got some Calvert Racing 4-degree pinion angle shims. So I'm gonna get the rear shimmed so we have a more favorable pinion angle so we can get the drive shaft nice and straight for when we're going down the track. That coupled with the new shocks, and I need to get an anti-roll bar also. Haven't gotten it yet, but we'll end up getting an anti-roll bar put in, and then I need to tackle the front shocks. I'm pretty sure, I don't know what actual shocks are on the front. I think they're QA ones also. But those are single adjustable as well. And yeah, I mean, not exactly what you want for, any sort of racing, especially no prep racing. So I'm gonna do some Vikings in the front. I mean, obviously the long travel stuff would be beneficial, would be ideal. Not gonna go there yet because that's gonna require additional fabrication and all that stuff. So I'm gonna get some bolt-in type stuff. That's the Viking shocks. So the coilovers, the shocks have no prep valving in it, it says. So, we'll learn that. We'll try and get as fast as we can with that. And then as we progress, we'll move up eventually to some of the long travel stuff. All right, so I've got everything all hooked up, and like everything else on this truck, nothing is easy. I had to grind this pinion angle wedge down a little tiny bit because the bolts are, I don't know, they just were a very tight fit. These are not U-bolts. They're, I'm assuming, bolts that came through, and then I don't know if they're welded or splined or what, but 2 of them I had to rethread. One on that side actually ripped the threads clean off, and all I did was I basically just threaded it for a metric size that was a little bit smaller than 1/2 inch. These are 1/2 inch 20. So on that side I did M12 1.25, I think, or something like that. So but everything's in. I've got this block here just to it's only a 1/2 inch, just to kind of help give me a little bit more of an angle for the pickup point. I know in reality I should actually switch out this leaf spring because this is a drop spring. Not really great for doing no prep style stuff, but it'll be all right for now. I mean, it's not a huge deal. At the end of the day, if and when I change the spring, I mean, I just won't put that block back in. So and the reason it's below and not above, if I put it above, it would actually lower the truck more. So really what I just kind of wanted was more of an up angle. But so we'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, I just take it out, no big deal. And then with the shocks, I had to notch this, sorry about that. I had to notch this bracket right here. So this is how you do rebound or extension. You twist this, and it was hitting the bracket. I wanted to actually put it the opposite way, so this was at the top, but as you can see, this was hitting, and I would have had to grind it a lot. Like I would have had to grind it pretty much up to here. So, I mean, not a huge amount of material to take off, but it was still time consuming. So I had to grind these on both sides. But yeah, I mean, we got everything in. Ride height is set. Not ride height, I should say, the installed height of this shock, which a lot of people overlook, but it's all set up right now. Last thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut out the tire rubs here. So I got a little cutoff wheel, and I'm just gonna cut off, about half of it and then roll the rest of that over, just so I don't have to deal with that anymore. But so these are the upgrades we made for the next time we go out, which is hopefully gonna be this Saturday. I also have an anti-roll bar coming. It's just not here yet, so that'll be on also. And yeah, I mean, we'll go from there. So I've actually had a lot of questions about what tire I have on the back. Tire came on the truck. It's a Mickey Thompson ET drag. I'm not sure if it's the stiff sidewall one or not, but I mean, it came on the truck. They were brand new, so I'm just using them. I know for a surface like Digger Die, you'd want like a softer compound, like a, like a DO6 Hoosier or something. But like I said, these came on the truck, and so I'm just gonna use them until they're worn down. Once I start to figure it out a lot better, I will, invest money in tires that work with different surfaces. But for now, this is what we got. So we're gonna roll with it. But yeah, it is not a drag radial. Definitely not a drag radial. It is a slick. Got it to go down at Thunder Valley. Granted, we were going slow, really slow there. And, Digger Die is just a tough surface. Rockinham's really tough even for people with a lot of experience. So, it is what it is. All right, so before I close this video out, I'll go over the final changes that I made before we go out Saturday. Like I said, we're definitely testing Saturday. May jump in the race. It all depends on really if we can just better what we did last time we were at Thunder Valley. So I do actually have to raise the front of the truck a little bit. I'm only about a 1/4 inch higher in the front than the rear. I want to get that closer to 3/4 to an inch, especially on the passenger side. I've got a whole bunch of sandbags in there to equal my weight. There's several 50-pound sandbags. So but basically what my weight is in the driver's seat, and now I'm setting everything up. And then additionally, I got a couple 100 pounds in the rear. So this is about 200 pounds strapped in. Again, just sandbags. I wrapped them up so no sand will get out. So we got a pretty good amount of weight behind the rear tire. And these bags are standing up, so some of the weight is a little bit higher. Last time I just had them laying down on the floor. So trying different stuff, reading some literature, seeing what works. I don't like the idea of using sandbags, but for now it's what we got, so it'll be okay. So yeah, 100 pounds on each side. All the changes to the rear, and then like I said, we got a couple 100 pounds in there to equal my weight. And all I got to do is adjust the ride height and then set the shocks and see if we can figure it out. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Next video should be out next week. Be racing at Thunder Valley. Like I said, testing it first, but I'd like to get in the shootout. If there's even remotely of a chance of me putting up a respectable number. So, but either way, you'll see us in the car, see if we make progress, and we'll go from there. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.